Okay, so good afternoon and welcome to the Launch with Pride Challenge, where we are helping LGBTQ plus entrepreneurs grow their impact and income using challenge marketing strategies. I am your host, Justin Mezzadin, and I am glad to have you here on day 4. So let's do a little recap. So yesterday, the homework was uh, listing the problems you solve, thinking of which of those problems can be solved in a short amount of time, and thinking of who is the person that you want to help, as well as coming up with a challenge name. So the idea of that assignment is just to sort of put into practice some of the foundations and ideas we've been talking about all week. And the hope is as you do the assignments and as you share them, other people can understand what you're doing. And if you are the hope was yesterday you could have come up with a basic design for a challenge. And by answering these questions, that would really help put all of that into light. If you can think of the most important problems, and then you chose one of them that you could solve in a small amount of time, and who's the type of person that would work for, all of that can work together to help you create a challenge that stands out, that makes people want to join because they have that problem and because it's talking directly to them. So thank you for those who've done the assignments, and I still look for some others to complete it. We have a few more days where the challenge is still technically going on. So thank you for that. So now the goal of today is, the goal of today is we'll be talking about challenges when it comes to challenges. On day 2, we talked about a number of marketing frameworks and strategies. And we talked about the benefits of them and sort of the pros and cons, reasons why they don't always work, or some of the challenges that are just involved in making them happen. Challenges are no different. Challenges are also a marketing strategy. And like everything, there's good and there's bad. So the goal of today is to talk about some of the downsides of challenges and how we can overcome them so that we can run successful challenges in our own businesses. So there are 5 pitfalls, and pitfall number 1 is no clear definition of success. So for a challenge to be successful, you need to define what success looks like. Challenges are a flexible marketing strategy. So there are many different levels of success that you can use to define. So what that means is sometimes, yes, income. You can have an income goal saying, for this challenge, I want to generate X amount of income from my back-end offer, or from VIP sales, or upsells in my funnel. So having a clear goal of what that number would be if you're doing this to generate income and revenue. And that way you can say, if my goal is X amount of money, does my offer stack up to that? Am I charging enough? Am I charging too little? Should I charge for VIP? How much should I charge? So by having a clearer definition of success, that'll help you understand how to create a challenge. And also all the decisions you have to make can all lead to that same goal. So one is income. Another type of success is learning. One of the reasons why many people may use challenges at the beginning and earlier stages of their journey is just to connect in community and to learn from the attendees. Many of the homework assignments were built on that I've been doing this week were built to help you create a challenge by the end of it by answering some of those questions earlier in the week. But some people may be testing out a new idea, be testing out a new offer or a new niche, and they want to learn more. So if you are having a challenge, one definition of success could be, I want to learn more about this group. So each day you can do something like having homework assignments that just get people to share what they're actually going through, getting them to share their specific problems. And that gives you as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, bigger insight into the types of person you're serving, what's resonating with them, and also their problems. Because if entrepreneurship is solving problems, having more information about people's problems directly from them will help you create an offer that actually solves problems they have and resonates with them. And the third thing challenges can do is build up a community or re-engage a community. So another way to define success for a challenge would be, I want 50 more people to join my Facebook group, or I want a certain amount of engagement between people. I want people to go live and I want to see 20 different people show up on video. So challenges can be flexible. Challenges can be flexible, and there are many ways to define success. But as an entrepreneur and business owner, you need to have a clear definition of what would be a successful challenge for you. And that way, all of the decisions that you make within a challenge, running a challenge, designing a challenge, are all leading to that same definition. So that's the first pitfall, not having a clear definition of success. The second pitfall of a challenge is going general. If you're speaking to everyone, you're speaking to no one. When it comes to a challenge, we're always vying with everyone, with Amazon, with Netflix, with work, with family, for people's attention. So if you're going to have a challenge, if you're going to have an event, if you go general, people will see this is for everybody and they won't see that it's for them. So the second pitfall is being too broad, too general with either who your challenge is for or what problem you're trying to solve. Excuse me. Who your problem is for, what problem you're trying to solve, and who and how you're going to bring it all together. So one way to avoid this pitfall is to be specific. This is why I've talked about the different problems people have. So it's like, what are the problems that who are you going for? When we talked about your who, I mentioned, how do you define this person on 5 to 7 different levels? Because the idea is the deeper you can understand the problems and the people, now you can say, I'm creating a specific challenge for this type of person with this type of problem. So now that you have that defined, when people see that, they're like, oh, that's me. Versus that can be me, that's everybody, that's somebody else. But if you can speak to someone directly, that is how you can get them to, that is a way for your challenge to be more successful. Certain people, as you build a brand, you can go general. I think like Tony Robbins or Joel Osteen in the faith-based world, they can go broad because they have the name recognition and people understand what they're going to do. But as earlier entrepreneurs or people who don't have that kind of following, by being more specific, it helps other people, it helps your message stand out to them. So pitfall number 2 is going too general. And the way to solve that is to go deeper into the who, go deeper into who you want to serve and deep into that problem that you are solving, deep and specific. So pitfall number 3 is technology troubles. When it comes to running a challenge, there are many different levels of challenges you can run. And there are many different parts that rely on technology, right? So like right now for this example, I am doing this on a Zoom webinar and I'm streaming it into the Facebook group. Also, there was a website that you use to sign up for this challenge. For those who signed up, they're getting email reminders every day. And there are also replays that are going up onto YouTube and in the Facebook group. So each of these technology platforms take time, take energy, and sometimes, integrating them together doesn't always work smoothly. So one of the biggest pitfalls is having too many different types of technology or not testing your technology enough so that it can be streamlined. I think that's one thing. And also just having the organized plan of, okay, here's when the email reminders will go out. Here's my funnel, my website. Is it Is it still working the right way? Are we sending people to the Facebook group? Are people jumping on the live Zoom, or are they watching in Facebook? Did I make a Facebook event to remind people within Facebook that the session is happening? And when it comes to replays and homework assignments, are people able to go live in the group? Are people able to see what the day's homework assignment is? Sometimes when it comes to technology, it can feel overwhelming, but yeah. And the more overwhelming that feels, then the harder it is to deliver the content and for everything else to work. But it is an overcomable, it is something that can be overcome. But yeah, it is definitely a pitfall to think about. So when it comes to your challenge, knowing what technology you're going to use and how you're going to use it will definitely help, as well as testing it beforehand so you can know that each part is working, and it can make for a smoother and more successful challenge overall. So pitfall number 4 is not having a clear traffic source. So if a tree falls in the forest and no one is there to hear it, did it make a sound? Yes, of course it made a sound. But if you have a challenge and no one is there to see it, can you get a customer? And the answer is probably no. People have to attend your challenge to be able to benefit from it. So when it comes to designing a challenge, part of the reason why earlier I mentioned about going general is if you can be specific about a problem and you can be specific about a person, now you can decide, oh, if I'm going to use paid ads, I can go in there and choose my targeting around that type of person so that I can get my ads in front of them and they can see what I'm doing. Additionally, if you're going more the organic route and you're connecting with people in different Facebook groups, these are group, by being specific, you can say, these are the groups I'm going to go to talk about my challenge, to talk about the problem that I'm having, that I'm helping people solve. By understanding that you need people to show up, and by thinking, okay, where am I going to get those people from? Where am I going to reach out to them? You now have a way to say, here's the Facebook ads I'm going to run, or Google ads, or YouTube ads. Here are the Facebook groups that I'm a part of that I want to reach out to send an invite to them so that they can check out my challenge. Here are people who are also dealing with the same problem. How can I get in front of them to let them know I have a solution and I'm here to help? So when it comes to traffic sources, you've got, paid advertising, you've got Facebook groups, possibly even like LinkedIn and LinkedIn groups. You have your social media accounts, any email lists you have, and then also other people's groups or networks. Sometimes, if you know someone who's in charge or leading a community, you can let them know, say, hey, I am helping people with this problem and people in your community could really benefit from it. Would you be willing to share my event with them? So by having a clear traffic source, it can help people show up to your challenge so that your challenge can be more profitable. And then the last challenge that I mentioned is going alone. I mentioned it in each of the previous issues. When it comes to traffic and connecting with other groups to get people into your challenge, having a community to tap into, to ask, to share. The goal of a challenge is to help people with the problem. So again, you're not just going for what you can take, but you're going because you're planning to give. So when it comes to getting more people into your challenge, asking for help, that's one way to go. Also, when it comes to the different technology parts and making sure, Zoom talks to Facebook and that the website sends people into the Facebook group. There are different steps involved. So being able to get some support with technology is something that some entrepreneurs may need that extra help with. When it comes to running a challenge in and of itself, sometimes you want more engagement in the Facebook group. So you may have someone to help in there just to build more community, connect with other people, commenting on people's posts. Sometimes you may even have someone who wants to host or MC the challenge. I've been doing it this way by myself all week, but there are sometimes people who can say, I'm going to get someone just to introduce me, to set it up, to go over the ground rules, and then I'll jump in there and I could just focus on delivering that content and being there. So there's all of those different parts of designing a challenge and coming up with a challenge where going alone may work against you. And then there are some other parts too about your offer, your messaging, your slides. Sometimes it's always good to have a extra set of eyes. As we tend to get super focused on what we're doing, sometimes someone else with that extra perspective and a little detachment from what's going on may be able to ask you the right question that helps you think, oh, I didn't see that. Or they might see a misspelling or something just in there, and they can help clean it up a little bit for you and with you. Yeah, so one of the biggest pitfalls with challenges are doing them alone, because then you have to make all those decisions on your own, and sometimes that can be a lot. So a way to avoid that is to get support. You can have a friend go with you and do this. You can have a coach, you can have a business leader, you can have a community. But I suggest that a lot, because even for me, myself, I'm part of this Crush It You community, where many of us we're running challenges every month. Everyone in the community is running challenges throughout the year. Some of us every month, some of us are doing it on other schedules, but I can go in there and I can say, hey, I'm running this challenge. What do you think about this? What do you think of this idea? Or I have this technology issue. What are you all using to send emails? So for me, having community and having support and having someone I can ask questions to and I can process ideas with definitely helps me understand the challenge that I'm doing, and it helps me to be more clear, which helps the challenge itself to be more clear. So those are the 5 pitfalls of a challenge: not having a clear definition of success, going to general. So going general, so not focusing on specific who, what, and hows, having an unclear amount of having technology issues, being stuck in the integrations between parts, not having a clear traffic source, and going alone. Those 5 things will definitely negatively impact a challenge, because yeah, if you don't have a clear definition of success, how will you even know it was good, right? How will you have benchmarks to know, am I doing this well? And at the end of it, how do I know what to improve on if I wasn't aiming for a certain target? If you're going too general, why should someone show up? They may not want to, they may not understand why, and that is and they may not realize that they have a problem that you're talking about. So you want to be specific there to solve that. Technology, you want to have an idea of what you're going to do and what it's for, and possibly some way to just to organize yourself so you know exactly what to do, how to do it, how to test it out so that it works and it's streamlined. Having a clear traffic source. If you don't have people show up, you can't have people become customers. So figuring out where am I going to reach out to people? How am I going to do that? How do I plan that part out? And then also just going alone. There are many decisions that come into play when it comes to designing and running a challenge. So having someone just to bounce ideas off of at the least of it is helpful. Having someone who can help you with certain technology issues, also helpful. And even just having the structure and design all together, all of that will sort of help you be more effective, because they can see your blind spots that you may not be able to. So what's next? So this is day 4 of the Launch with Pride Challenge, the official last day of the challenge. So let me just do a little quick recap. So day 1, I talked about why career entrepreneurs should be running challenges, and talked about some of the values and lessons that we've learned in our own lives and how challenges can help bring those out and help us better connect and better connect with our ideal clients and serve them at a higher level. Day two, we talked about a number of different marketing strategies and frameworks. We talked about what made them good, what made them bad, and we also talked about how challenges fit into that. And the main takeaway from that is challenges sort of take the good of many of those messages, of many of those strategies, and puts them together into sort of just one vehicle. So we're using ideas from email marketing. We're using ideas of lead magnets and tripwires with VIPs to help move people up our value ladder within one challenge. Every day in a challenge is basically a mini webinar teaching on the subject and helping people find value. Day three, we talked about some of the main decisions that you have to make when it comes to running your first or next challenge. We talked about the idea of a big idea, how you want to be specific about a problem you solve, because that is what's going to drive people to want to join your challenge and to join it themselves. We talked about how long it takes to solve a problem so that you can decide, is this going to be a 3-day or 5-day or longer challenge? We talked about some of those key decisions so that you can create a successful challenge. And then today we talked about pitfalls. So all the things that stop people from running challenges successfully, all the things that slow people down, or some of the parts where it's like, oh, I wish I did this different. So we talked about that today. So right now, you should be able to know that challenges can work for me as a career entrepreneur. I see the benefits and values of what makes challenges so effective and how they take from these other marketing strategies some of the goods and puts them all into like one specific framework. I've learned how to make certain decisions around my first challenge so I can like start creating it myself, and some of the pitfalls to avoid when running challenges. So I just want to thank you all for being with me for these 4 days and being a part of this December Launch with Pride challenge. But we're going to do one more day, a bonus day on on Monday, December 12th. And in that bonus session, we'll be doing a few things. So one, it'll be another shorter, different recap of our entire challenge. I will also be taking questions. So afterwards, I'm going to put a link in our Facebook group and along with this video so that people can ask questions on a Google form and I can answer them on Monday live. And also I've been mentioning prizes. So yeah, part of this challenge is you're going to give out some prizes on Monday. So in order to gain prizes, you get it by doing the homework assignments and and yeah, doing the homework assignments, watching the replays or videos, showing up live, engaging with others in the group, and inviting people. So the more you do, the more for each of those things you do, you get one like raffle ticket, and I'll put them on a wheel and spin it, and whoever it lands on gets to win one of them. There'll be a few different prizes being given out. So I am excited to see that. So what do we have today? The assignment is, of those pitfalls, which of them resonate in your business or life currently? As I was doing this and I was thinking about pitfalls of a challenge, I started realizing, wait a minute, these are also pitfalls in life. If we don't have a clear definition of success, what we want our life to be, we may never reach that. And that's both with a challenge or in life. If I don't have a good goal, if I don't know who I am, if I don't know what my values are, I have no clear definition of life. So having a clear definition of success helps with the challenge and in life. Similarly, going general, we are all one of one. We all have a unique mix of likes, dislikes, values, senses of humor, ways we approach the world, ideas of beauty. Um, and if we are too general, we may not appreciate really what life gives us. So sometimes in life, we need to go specific. We need to say, this is who we are and stand in our authenticity. So that works in both for a challenge and in life. Technology as well. Technology can be helpful, but it also can be a cause of stress, can be a cause of procrastination. There are lots of technology in our lives that if we're not sure what we're using it for, and we're not sure how to use it best, it may cause more damage than harm. It may cause more harm than good. So when it comes to a challenge or life, knowing the technology we're going to use and having an idea of what it's for, and using it most effectively for our goals should be is my goal anyway. No clear traffic source. So for a challenge, that means people won't show up. And for life, it means sort of with the next one, we're alone. Who is our network? How are we connecting with other people? What's our purpose for connecting with them? Being able to know how to connect with others and how to get others to connect with you is helpful for both the challenge and life. And lastly, going alone. Humans are made to be social. That's why I guess we're born into families. But as life goes on, we can find families of choice. We can reach out to people for support. We can be able to ask for help. We can get connected. And when it comes to running a challenge, being able to find some support in some ways and not going at it alone can help your challenge be more successful. And I also believe can help your life be more successful when you have people to reach out to for support, connection, and just being on this journey of life together. So for the homework, which of these 5 pitfalls resonate in your business or life currently? And what's one action you can take to address it? So whether it's how are you using technology in your business, how are you currently connecting to people in your business, and you might need to change that. Those are just a couple. Where are you going? Where are you too general? And where can you be more specific? What could you, so one, where is that happening in your life? And then also what can you do to address it? One simple action, and you can share that with the group. And as the challenge is over, feel free to review the previous videos and do the previous homework assignments. I will be doing the raffle live on Monday at 12 noon Eastern time. So if you can go in there, if you can do more homework assignments, comment on other videos, even go live in the group for some bonus points. That's one way I can know to add more tickets for you, and you'll have a chance to win some amazing prizes. So, and lastly, for Monday's Q&A, there will be a link to a Google form, and you can just put questions in there, either anonymously or not, and I can put them all together, and that way Monday I can answer them for you all. So share in the Facebook group, and that is basically it for today. However, there's one more thing I want to invite you to. So at the end of this challenge, Monday will be the official last day. And at some point next week, all the trainings and videos will come down because part of the idea of a challenge is it's a time-based container and it doesn't just go on forever. So the trainings will be gone and I will be removing them. But I wanted to invite some of you into a next step. So if you've gotten value from this, if you've seen the ideas of what challenges can be, I want to, and you're interested in running a challenge for your business, you can go it alone. I mean, I think many of us have started alone, and in theory, a lot of this week, I've been doing this sort of alone, but with some support from other people. I'm inviting you to what I'm calling queer challenge consulting. At first, I was thinking of doing a workshop. At first, I was thinking of doing a workshop, but I think with schedules, it will just be a lot easier to do one-on-one sessions. So my goal of LGBTQ challenge consulting will be to help you design a customized challenge blueprint for your business. So this blueprint will include these sort of 6 deliverables that you can take for your business afterwards. So 1, we're going to update and detail your target audience. One of the key tenets of being specific and knowing who you serve is knowing more things about them. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill out this worksheet, which is possibly 25 to 30 different questions and ideas to help you better understand your audience. So it'll take care of both the demographics, some of the physical attributes of people, where they're located, what languages they speak, what they, gender, where they are in the gender spectrum, if that matters, and a number of other key points. But it doesn't only go into that, but also will go into more of the psychographics. What brings them joy? What are their biggest problems? What are their pains? Who do they want to be? Who are their role models? What are some of the beliefs they have? So it's not just a high level people, women 30 to 40 who live in this area. It's goes a lot more in depth so that you can better understand your people. So that's that first bullet. So because the more you understand them, now it's okay. When we go to the second bullet of making your offer, we can make sure the offer actually speaks to who they are. So second bullet, we're also going to go and we're going to review and refine your offer. For challenges, we talked about having a revenue goal if we're selling a product. So with that being said, what revenue goal makes sense? So if you want to sell a $500 course, $1,000 course, or a $4,000 coaching program, we're going to review your offer to see, okay, what problems is it solving? What bonuses can we add to provide more value to the people to the people you're working with? What else can we do to up level your offer so that when you do make the pitch at the end, they will be able to say, yep, this is for me. And the price is here, but the value is here. So we want a higher value. We want a maximum value in that offer. So by knowing your audience and by reviewing and refining your offer, you can stand by higher prices. You can stand by the idea of the sales pitch that you'll have to do, and you'll be able to connect better with them. So we'll make sure there's a clear line between who they are, the problem they have, and how your offer helps each part of that problem. Next, we're going to come up with a challenge design. So we're going to brainstorm different ideas, brainstorm different hooks. And as we talked about before, challenges are there to solve one problem for one type of person. So we can look at the various problems and look at your offer and think, okay, here's a challenge solution to a problem that they have that doesn't compete with my offer. Or here's what I can do. Here's a challenge that'll get someone ready to take that next step with you. So we'll brainstorm and come up with different ideas, and then we'll sort of connect them all. We'll connect the dots and we'll see what actually fits. Next, we're going to come up with a daily content outline. So what should I be teaching? So how long should my challenge be? And what should I be teaching on each day? So we're going to work together to come up with what that is. We're going to come up with the daily assignments, the daily topics to be covered, and more about what that process actually looks like. Next, we will do a technology review checklist. So we're going to think about how you're going to run your challenge, where you're going to run it, how do you plan to tell people about it? Will you be doing a funnel, a website, Facebook group, or something else? So we're going to just sort of come up with a checklist for you to use so that you can say, okay, all of my technology is covered. And when it's time to test it out, you can say, this part works, that part works, here's what's going to happen. And that way you won't have to be overwhelmed with technology, and you can be ready for it when you're going into it. And then lastly, we'll come up with a traffic strategy. So whether you're going to go the paid ads route or the organic marketing route, we are going to talk about strategy. We're going to come up with a strategy and define, okay, here are some of the numbers you need to hit. Here are some of the amount of people you want to aim to invite. Here are some of the groups that we're going to look for. We're going to look at, here's how we're going to post in these groups to invite people to join us. So we're going to do that so that you can have the maximum amount of people that makes sense. And also one thing about that, when it comes to challenges, you don't always need 1,000 people. Sometimes you just need 20. Sometimes you just need 10. And depending on your audience and depending on your business, sometimes those intimate, smaller groups of people actually convert higher because everyone feels connected, everyone feels a part of the community. So we're going to get all of that, and it'll be for your business. So we're going to update your target audience. We're going to review and refine your offer. We're going to come up with challenge ideas. We're going to create a daily content outline for you to use to teach during your challenge. You're going to have a technology review and checklist, and we're going to create a specific traffic strategy for you specifically. And all of this, I was trying to come up with it, and $9.97 is the price that is valued at. Lies, that's not. $9.97 is the price that I want to charge. Each of these things can actually be, possibly 90 minutes of calls, not to mention other research outside of this. So the actual value is much higher than this, but I was going to charge $9.97 because it just makes sense. And the goal of your challenge is to recover not just this price, but more than that. Right. So when we look at your offer, we're going to make sure your offer and how many people you expect to get in your challenge, we're going to make that much bigger. So my goal is to try to help all of you create challenges that can bring in $5, $10, $15, $30,000. That's what the goal is. So we're going to look at your offer. We're going to look at what your products are. You can look at what you're selling and thinking, all right, here's how we can add more value there to either bump the number up. And also here's how we need to get X amount of people into your challenge so that you have more customers as well. So all of that for $9.97, and you all are welcome to apply to join. However, because it's the holiday season, and we're doing this challenge now, I'm going to do this for $4.97. It's hard to say because I see that there's a lot of work in there. But this is my gift to you all. I want more queer businesses to be running challenges. So if I can help someone, if I can help more queer businesses run challenges, especially during the holidays, this is a gift that I'm giving to you. So Queer Challenge, LGBTQ Challenge Consulting, we will design a customized challenge blueprint for your business, and it's only for $4.97. This price will not last past the holidays, or maybe even past the next couple of weeks, because I think I can only do with my schedule about 5 people at the moment. So for the first 5 people, they will get this holiday price, and then next year we'll see what happens with my schedule. So if you are interested in this, there will be a link for you to join that will go to my calendar. We're definitely going to have an onboarding call. This is not for everyone. If you are just starting and you have no idea what you're doing, or you're wanting to start a business, this is probably not for you, only because we're going to ask a lot of questions and you may not have the answers, right? If you're just starting, you don't even have an idea yet, you may need to do a little more groundwork before jumping into this offer. Yeah. But if you already have an idea, if you already have a business and you already have a way that you're providing value to people, this is for you. So with that being said, there will be a link here if you're interested. It'll go to my Calendly. There will be an application there. So you just have to answer a few questions and then choose a time that works for you and me. And then we'll be able to start this. Yeah, I look forward to serving you all. I thank you all again for being a part of the Launch with Pride Challenge this December. And I hope that this was able to provide value to you and you were able to see how you can use a challenge as a career entrepreneur to help your business grow, to generate more income, to increase the impact that we make in our communities, and yeah, to help serve. So thanks again for your time, and I hope you all have a good day. I will see you all next time. Bye.